Well, it's Sunday morning, and as you can see, it's rained overnight here in Wickenburg. We've been getting some of that rain that's going through California. The desert ground here is so different. The rain just doesn't soak in. So the top of the ground gets really sloppy, but just underneath the surface, it's hard as concrete. There were saddle ropings here yesterday. Had a big turnout for that. 300 teams in the first roping and almost 200 in the second one. And it was over about 7 o'clock last night, and the crew went right to work sealing the arena over. They worked it with the arena tool and then drove a big heavy truck back and forth to flatten the ground out so that the rain would run off a little bit better. There are 3 ropings scheduled for today, and the ground crew is up at the arena now seeing if it's going to be okay to rope later. I've got to go inside and get ready for church, so I'll let you know later what they've decided to do. So I wanted to let you know they've posted on Facebook that the ropings are going to start today at 11. That's about an hour later than they're usually starting, but they're planning on having all 3 ropings if the ropers show up. And you can see that trucks and trailers have already started pulling in, so we'll see you after church. I'll have to say these conditions are not for the faint of heart. Hard to believe that this many people would show up for a roping, but I guess you could say that they are dedicated ropers and they're willing to persevere. So here's the arena ground. It's wet but not sloppy. You know, nobody likes to work in the mud or rope in the mud for sure. Other arenas around Wickenburg have called off their ropings, but these people, the workers and the ropers, they've persevered. And to persevere means to continue, to persist, to be steadfast and determined. It's easy to keep going when the sun is shining, the birds are chirping, and everything is going the way we want it to. But when storms and rains come, that's when we see who is really dedicated. A lot of times it's in the storms that God teaches us and makes us stronger. I know you've probably heard the saying, no pain, no gain. What we go through hopefully makes us better. Romans 5:3, we know that suffering produces perseverance, perseverance character, and character hope. We all know that life is full of rainy days, that storms are going to come. But when they do, we can ask ourselves, what is God trying to teach us? Sometimes there's no immediate answers, but we just keep going. We overcome the problems by persevering. That's being determined not to let the problems get the best of us. In the Western way of life, they call it cowboy up. That perseverance becomes part of our character. That character leads us to hope, where we look beyond the problem to the good days ahead. We just need to keep going because the sun is going to shine again, the mud will dry up, the birds will chirp. We just have to persevere.